Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Glow Up podcast. So I was feeling a little motivational today, and I want to get on here to motivate my sisters and talk about fear. So yesterday I did a video for my community and we talked a little bit about this, but I wanted to share this really quick, that fear is probably the number one thing that holds a lot of us back from pursuing our dreams. And we either have a fear of what people think, we either have a fear of rejection. But when you are pursuing something great, when God placed a seed in you and you want to go for that, you have to get over fear of people and fear of rejection. And so I just want to get on here and encourage somebody. So when I first started MC Beauty, the skincare brand, mind you, I didn't have any experience at all with skincare. My background is I've been in healthcare recruiting for 10, 15, well, however long I've been in it, for a long time, right? So that's my background. I went to school for advertising. I went to school for business administration. Did not have a background in skincare. All I had was I was trying to figure out what was going on with my skin, and I decided to do all these research and stuff and create a product for myself because nothing was working. And then God placed it on my heart to actually start a skincare brand. Had no idea what I was doing. Terrified, right? Because I'm like, nobody's going to buy from me. I don't have the background in skincare. I don't have, and so I did all the research, all this. So I literally just took a leap of faith, had no idea what I was doing. But I just knew that God placed it on my heart to do this. So I did it. And terrified as I was, it was almost as if like I just had to face it, right? So I was afraid of what people were going to say, if people were even going to take me serious because I didn't have a background in skincare. I was afraid of rejection. What if I come out with these products and nobody buys from me? Like, I'm going to look like a total fool. So I had all those fearful thoughts. And, it was hard. It was hard fighting that because, when you're building something, you have to fight through discouragement. You have to fight through all of that. And, the same thing applied to me starting this podcast and even the community. I was afraid that nobody would listen. This wouldn't be helping people. And so with all that, anytime you're going for your dream or anytime you are pursuing something, you're going to have those fearful thoughts. However, you have to just keep going. You have to push yourself and fight through it. And then also, too, with people who are afraid of pursuing something because they, are afraid people are going to look at them differently or going to be afraid of what people are going to think, we got to get over that because we're allowing people to hold us back from greatness. And if you're allowing people shouldn't have that much control over you anyway, but you're allowing people to hold you back from all the potential that God has put in you. And so when we care about what people think, it just limits us. And I always say this anyway, people are going to talk about you regardless. They're going to talk about you if you live a mediocre life. They're going to talk about you if you're not doing nothing. They're going to talk about you if you are pursuing something. So who cares? And usually the people that are talking are the people who aren't really doing anything. So you got to have that mindset where, if people are going to talk about me, I might as well be doing something great so that I can really give them something to talk about, right? So you have to kind of think about that. So you don't want to live a life where you're so fearful about what people think that you never step out, that you never pursue it. Like, again, when I came out with this podcast, like the Lord put on my heart to help other people. And I'm like, all right, but I had all these different fearful thoughts. And I'm like, okay, well, people talk about me for doing this podcast. That says something more about them than it does to me because I'm doing this to help other people. And so if somebody has something negative to say about that, then that's something that they got to deal with, right? And so you just have to kind of change your perspective when it comes to caring so much about what people think. And I think that a lot of us struggle with that. A lot of us struggle with the fear of man, and we have to get past that, especially if we want to pursue greatness and we want to pursue the things that God has placed on our heart to do. The other thing is rejection. So when I started the skincare brand and I was terrified that people were going to reject me, I had to not take it personal. Even though, I put the products together and did all the work and stuff. At first, I'm not going to lie, I did take things personal. I was like, you don't want to buy from me? Like, they don't like me. And that's not the case. You're going to get rejected in your business. You're going to get rejected in general, but that doesn't mean that you're not good enough. That doesn't mean that your products aren't good. That doesn't mean that your services are good. That just means that it's not for that person. And what God has for you is for you. So you have to look at rejection in a different form. You have to look at rejection differently, especially if you want to be successful, because you will get rejected. And you just have to look at that differently. And so I say all that to say, I want to encourage someone who has a dream on their heart to do, and they're struggling with whether or not that they should pursue it, and they're struggling and they're fearful of what could possibly go wrong. They're thinking all these negative things. I want you to ask yourself, what happens if I don't pursue it? And then you live a life of regret because you didn't pursue the things. And there's a lot of people who are in those old people homes who are sitting in there regretting that they didn't live the life that they knew that they could live, because either they made mistakes or they cared so much about what other people think. And so if you have something on your heart, even if you don't know how to do it, even if you don't have all the knowledge, place yourselves in environments, place yourselves with people who do have the knowledge, so that way that you can learn and you can grow. And follow people who motivate you, follow people who are able to pour into you, and do it. Just do it. Just like Nike says, just do it, girl. And even if you do make mistakes, and, I've learned so much with the skincare brand. I've learned so much with doing the podcast that I don't look at things as failure. Like when I started the skincare brand, it didn't do as nearly as good as I thought it was going to do. Like when God put it on my heart to do it, I thought, oh yeah, in the first year, I'm going to be a millionaire. People are going to be buying my products off the shelves. I had it all in my head. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And so I'm thankful because you still have to go through the process. You still have to go through the process of learning. I'm not ready to run $1 million skincare brand or brand, period. There's still steps to success. But in all of that, I've learned so much about advertising. I learned so much about marketing. I learned so much about all the gifts that God placed in me. Like I didn't know I had a gift for being creative and putting together marketing materials and email marketing. Like I didn't know I knew how to do all of that. So me just starting off with the skincare brand helped me discover all the gifts that I had in me. And now with that, it led to me doing, a YouTube channel where I'm helping people and I'm talking, and which led me to do this podcast. And so all of these different things, all these different gifts and talents started to come up when I just took that first step and not caring about what people think and overcoming those fears that were trying to hold me back. So I just want to encourage you, girl, get up and just go for it. And do not allow fear of people, fear of rejection, fear of failure to hold you back. And so I'm going to go ahead and stop the episode there. I hope this is helping somebody. But just go for it, girl. Just go for it. And I'm curious to know, what is it that God has put on your heart to do? If you are looking for a community who can kind of help you through the process of overcoming your fear, and just motivate you to become the best version of yourself, I do have this Glow Up community Facebook groups. I'll leave it in the description. If you guys want to join that, feel free to do so. But I hope this helped you guys. I hope this is a good motivational episode for you to go out there and just pursue the thing that God has placed on your heart to do. So don't let nobody hold you back. It's time to go. All right. Have a good day.